It's been around for more than a century and a half, growing vegetables for metro area restaurants. But one Macomb County farm is also growing a community that was almost wiped out by Hurricane Mitch. Our Glenda Lewis is here now with more on this inspiring story of faith and hope. Glenda.
Dave, the images were devastating. How can you forget them? Hurricane Mitch, still considered one of the deadliest on record, killing more than 11,000 people, and more than half of them died in Honduras. The owners of Centennial Farm say they were sitting in church when they heard the call from God to help the region. And what they've done to help over the last 20 years is nothing short of a miracle.
I don't travel, I don't do anything like that, but the Lord will put you in a place where He wants you.
The roots laid here at Gas Centennial Farm in Ray Township are what helped spark a regrowth for an ailing nation across the Caribbean Sea.
I knew instantly that we were supposed to go.
You don't necessarily make the decision as to where you want to go mission work.
And Bill and Ellen Gass feel they were called to some of the hardest hit areas of Honduras shortly after it was devastated by Hurricane Mitch in 1998.
They lost everything. They didn't have anything left, and they had no food because economically there was no way to get food into that part of the country. The roads or bridges were all washed out in that area, and it was a mess. That's when we jumped in and started doing what we could.
What they could quickly turned into everything they can. And now, after 2 decades of working to help Hondurans, the Gasses have transformed housing, food, education, and lives for the region.
Built 175 houses in the first 2 or 3 years to people who didn't have anything.
They've also built 3 orphanages and 59 schools. Now, 5,500 students are learning to read and write. The 2 retired teachers call their effort Mission of Hope because out of all the physical labor they've put into the dangerous, desolate parts of Honduras, it's what you can't see that matters most to them.
One of the greatest things is the sense of community, the sense of empowering people to understand that they don't have to be helpless, that there is hope, there is help, to be compassionate toward one another by working together.
The Gasses have scaled swamps, slept with armed guards nearby, and have had so much property stolen over the years, it's hard to keep track.
Do all the preparation we can here, and we do all the fundraising we can, and try to get everything lined up. But once we go down there and we put our foot down on the soil off that airplane, you know, our prayer is keep us safe and show us what you want us to do and bring us the right people to get it done. And it always, always happens.
Then it's back to building up their crops.
We come home, and the day that we come home, the day after, we start the greenhouses for the farming, and then we work hard all the time. A large percentage of that money does go to the mission work.
A family farm since 1853, now feeding the hearts and minds of generations to come across the sea. One of their most important projects, a simple drawbridge, one that made it possible for kids to cross a river to go to school. But really, Bill and Ellen are building bridges all the time, all the way from Romeo, Michigan, USA, to the villages of Honduras.
And they said most of what they receive from the farm does go to help their mission. But they told me the story of a young man whose home that they rebuilt, and they say he's now an engineering student in college. Just what they've seen in the last 20 years is incredible.
What a blessing. I mean, 175 homes, and they're really changing lives.
And it's one couple making such a huge difference in another part of the world.
And Hondurans build with them. So it's not just they come and they build, it's a community
They
effort.
work together. Wow, making a difference. So inspiring. Wonderful story.
Thank you.
Beautiful.